Okay, so this is my research looking at the traditional practices of gathering wild food plants in Australia. My focus of my research is the Italian community, and the region that I'm looking at is in the northern New South Wales, Lismore region. And the reason I'm looking at this is because there's a big population of Italians there, as well as there is a strong traditional practice of gathering wild food plants by Italians. So I looked at a variety of scientific and popular literature. I looked at particularly newspapers. There's a great database called Factiva, which I was able to search, and I also used a web crawler called Context Miner, which was really interesting as well. And then I also grounded all of that data by looking at 9 semi-structured interviews with a variety of people. So basically the results show that Italian-Australian migrants are foraging, but there's 3 distinct groups of people doing that. There's the elderly, who are doing it on a really quiet level, just going on day to day, continuing their traditional practices. And then there is this big group of this media personality driven or supported by this Web 2.0 social media idea of the Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube. And he is particular in his passion for plants and getting traditional knowledge across. He does weed walks, he has a Facebook page for each plant, like dandelion, chicory. He has the 10 most popular plants. And is really interested in the idea of educating the public. So she's still educating as well, but in a really quiet way. And he's out there completely. Like, foraging is now a social imperative and environmental responsibility. For her, it's this traditional practice, continuation of knowledge. And then there's the third group, which is the chefs. And that's sort of a crossover. She will grow food and sell to the chef, and he will go foraging with the chef. And then there's the Italian chefs who don't need to go to anyone else. They're growing their own food, foraging as well. So there's the popular personality. They're on the radio, on TV, running these monthly food walks. There's the forager is viewed as an activist and an educator. So this is really important. But also what I found interesting was that he's not only picking or educating people about wild food plants which are traditional to Europe or Italy, he's also looking at native plants. So there's a real crossover of knowledge, looking at warrigal greens, which is a traditional spinach, a native spinach. And what is also really evident then is it's not so much the plant that's important, but it's the practice. It's getting out there and picking and foraging, which is the continuation of the practice, not so much the plant. One of the women that I interviewed was lamenting that there's no porcini mushroom in Australia, but she's like, we've got other mushrooms. I'll still go out and pick what I can get. Do you have any questions? There's loads of information.